So, a little backstory. So last January, I broke up with ChatGPT. And who here broke up with ChatGPT? Okay, there you go, a ton of people. The biggest reason why is that it couldn't build this. So this is my daily command center. And I made a demo for you guys because I don't want you guys to see my emails and stuff. So basically, the different parts of this command center is I have task priorities. I use Notion. So it grabs from my Notion. It grabs meeting notes from Zoom. And it's basically able to give me the transcription and what were the tasks that I committed to or was assigned to me. I have loose threads, which is just connected to my Claude. So anytime, as an ADHD girly, I have so many things that I asked Claude that I forgot I already asked Claude. So I have a loose thread. So I asked it like, hey, scan my last couple of chats with you. Give me what were things that I never closed the loop on. And then I have Gmail connected to it. So it has inboxes. If you guys can't really see, but it says draft. I can click that button and it will create a draft in my Gmail. And then it also has my meetings for the day, and then I have tomorrow's first meeting. The reason why I have tomorrow's first meeting, because I know I stay up until 2 a.m. and sometimes I forget I have a 7 a.m. call the next day. So that's why I have that on there. So, ChatGPT doesn't do this, and that was one of the main reasons why I had to essentially broke up with it. So, for a lot of people, they try to pay something like that, but it's very generic. Who has found this? Who found AI to be a little bit just generic? So people, okay, most people here know how to customize it. Very nice. So a lot of time it is a setup problem. They don't know how to set up AI in a way that actually works for them. So what an AI assistant here is, who here has heard that term, AI assistant? Some people, not a lot of people. So there's a difference between an AI assistant and AI OS. So an AI assistant, you have a task that you give it and it knows how to do. However, it still needs you as the human to trigger it, to ask it, to prompt it, to be able to talk to it. Versus an AI operating system is basically an AI assistant with hands everywhere. So it's almost not fully human yet, but it's halfway there, where it has access to your memory, your apps, your processes, and of course, it has a home screen, which is basically what I showed you guys is essentially your own little dashboard. Now, a little bit of background on myself, just because for a lot of you guys, I've not met it yet. I started actually working remotely in 2011 when I was 15 years old. You can do the math, how old I am now. Because I actually started as a writer. I used to charge 50 pesos for a written article online, and I would write on this blog that I had, and I had a couple of people who saw it, wanted to hire me as a writer. I worked for like a local magazine. I worked for, I interned in Cebu Daily News at one point, and I have a couple of published books on Amazon. Please don't read the fiction ones; those are cringe, 16-year-old yan. And I've also done graphic artist, video editing work, web designer, project management, social media management, almost any kind of gig that a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old could get, I was able to grab and actually test myself on. Now, nowadays, I help run 5 remote companies here in Cebu, Philippines with about 70 plus employees. I have Typewriter Pub, which is a book publishing company that I manage. There is Valhalla, which is a software company that I basically just mostly watch and see them do what they need to do. I have Create AI Assistant, which is my AI OS company. AI Cold Outreach, and then 2XU, which is my executive assistant company. So it's coming up 7 years this year. So that is essentially a lot of what I do. And because I love side quests, I'm also a content creator. I am on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, everywhere else. I've been named one of the top 100 Filipinos on LinkedIn just this year. And I'm also a certified AI consultant. So a lot of what I'm talking with you guys are something that I am very passionate about because I've actually spoken in about 6 different countries, teaching them all about AI. I went all the way to Bulgaria in Europe in 2024, walking people through how to be able to optimize their business with executive assistants and AI. So that was a lot. Other side quests, I'm also a travel influencer now. I've published a book last year called Scale You. It's available on Amazon. That one, I'm a little bit prouder for you guys to read, not the fiction ones for sure. And it's basically a lot of what I love to nerd out on. So I also have an AI for virtual assistants community. That's where every single week I drop different things of like, hey, try creating this AI assistant this week. I also drop a lot of my own videos and tutorials. I have a course on there as well. So again, queen of side quests. Now, for a couple of people here, before I dive into this, because I know Room said no kind of background on AI, but raise your hand, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. For rating yourself from 1 to 5, how confident are you when it comes to using AI? 1 is you're total newbie, you're just diving in. 5 is you probably know better than me. Where is everyone else on that? So 1 to 5, just gonna raise your hand. 1 to 5, a couple ones. 2, 2s, 3s, nice. A couple of 3s, perfect. 2.5. Okay, so I will breeze through this a little bit then. So a couple of do's when it comes to using AI. 1 is give it context, which is what we're going to be building today is a way for you to constantly always give AI the context. You want to make sure that you verify its work. You want to keep the human in the loop. You want to make sure that it is correct and it's building the right thing. And you stay as the operator. You're the operator point of view when it comes to using AI. Now don't paste it sensitive data. Don't accept the first draft. And of course, don't outsource your judgment. Exactly. That's why I was like total support with your talk. Because like a lot of it is this, of like your clients, the people you work with, the people you work for are hiring you. Yes, they can use AI themselves. AI is just there. But they don't have time for it. They don't have the specialty that you have, the experience that you have, the judgment that you have as a human being using AI. Now, what are we actually building? So there's 3, what do I say, kind of stages when it comes to using AI. So there's the prompting, which I think a lot of people here have used prompting, right? Right? Okay. Then we have AI Assistant. So AI Assistant is the next level. This is your custom GPT, your Claude projects, your Gemini gems. They're basically an automated way to get output from an AI because you trained it what it is that you want it to do. Now there's the automation, which for the people who chatted me gimme on Instagram, that's an automation. It doesn't need an AI to judge or to generate anything. It just gave you exactly what I told it to do. So that's what an automation is. And lastly, the one that everyone is the whole buzz, the whole shebang, AI agents, or essentially computer use, where basically there's an AI that understands a goal, acts across tools autonomously, and basically that's where your Claude Code, your OpenClaw, your Perplexity, and your N8N come in. So that is kind of the different levels of using AI. So what we're actually building today is a little bit of a mix of 4 and a little bit of 2. That's kind of essentially where we are at. Now, who here has never used Claude? Never, ever, ever used Claude? A couple people. Okay, so again, I'll breeze through the basics. So Claude has different terms that it uses. So we have chat, which is just the usual chat. Projects is essentially you have a system prompt. So for example, for me, I have, hopefully it'll open. I have a project that's the Leanne Writer project that I basically have fed it how I write, examples of what I write, what are the things that I don't want it to do. It's not loading, okay. And basically whenever I say, write this post for LinkedIn, write this post for Facebook, it will look at the system prompt that I gave it and then be able to, where is it? Yeah, Leanne Writer. And be able to write a whole post as if it was me. And a lot of time, I don't need to edit it, mostly because I have talked about it. You guys can see a project has files, so I put it, my whole book. You guys can't see it, it's okay. It's Claude Mangud. Claude can't zoom. Oh, okay, is there a way to zoom it? Oh, okay. I did not know that you can zoom on an app. Okay, thank you. New things every day. Okay, so you guys can see I actually uploaded my whole book on there. I also uploaded a copywriting guide that I like. I have a slide, 2 slides in there of things that I like, so then it can always refer to the context basically that I gave it. And then you have artifacts. So what you guys grabbed from my Instagram is an artifact. I had Claude create that as a handout for you guys today. Skills is a reusable MD file. So MD means mark down. It's basically just an easier way to understand a code versus like the way a code usually looks like, where it's very intimidating. And then we have connectors, which is basically connecting it with your real tool. So that's a little bit of just Claude basics. And there's usually 3 different types of, you guys can see it above here, there's 3 different modes in Claude. So you have chat, which is you prompt it, it answers. You prompt it, it answers. It can grab from your connectors or from your active tools. So if I ask it like, hey, look into my Gmail, find context about this person. So it will actually go ahead and find a context of what was the last email that we sent them, how's the connection, do they hate us, all of that. And then cowork is chat with hands. So it works in a folder, it does the work, and scheduled tasks run anytime. So as an example, I have several scheduled tasks, and I'll explain who these people are that I created here. So I have an Albus morning brief. So an Albus morning brief for me goes into my calendar, it goes into my inbox, it goes into my projects, it goes into my tasks rescue. So basically it looks at tasks that I scheduled that basically I never move to the next day, and then updates the database that I have inside of Notion, and then it texts me a brief. So if I click run now, this is a scheduled task. So every 8 a.m. it runs on its own as long as I have my laptop open. That's the only thing. I put it on sleep, but it runs even when it's on sleep. But if it doesn't have Wi-Fi, it can't run by itself. So it's thinking. You can see how it runs and how it loads. It's using tool search to find the different tools that I said it should find. And then you guys can see it has a progress, which I actually love. This is the cool thing with Cowork, is it can break down its tasks. So you can verify it, you can change it, you can correct it, basically, if the progress and tasks aren't aligned to what it is that you want it to do. It is checking my actual calendar for events in a given calendar. It's going through that. And the actual output for this is it'll send me a text. This was the text this morning. So I have it hooked up to my iMessages, and then you can see that's my phone number above. Thank God you guys can see it. But you can see Alpha's morning brief, Saturday, May 23, 90-day goal, reach 20 active more to XU clients. I have my calendar on there. I have my quick wins. These are my quick tasks that I can do today. I have focus blocks. And then I have tasks, the rescued. They said like, hey, they didn't rescue anything. Basically, there wasn't anything that's delayed. There's a let's move Leanne. Convert warm leads to book calls, and then Albus note, Saturday near empty calendar. The whole day moves the goal if you do one thing. 2 warm leads already in your inbox. Someone asked for my calendar, someone just booked. Oh, yay. I didn't even know that. And then reply to both before noon the next day work. So you can see it checks me every single day, that same thing. And if this is done, it'll do the same. So it's just taking a while because it does take a while to do it. I think it takes like 10 minutes every time. Oh, you can see it here. This took 4 minutes. This took 6 minutes. This was a mini test that I was running. So you can see how long, because it starts the running at 8 o'clock. So that is essentially what the cool thing of Cowork is. And of course, you have code. So build anything, Claude Code, for the deepest builds. How are you guys doing so far? I know this is a lot to dump on you. I've been demoing as I go because I want you guys to see how real it is. I don't want it to be just like, I'm showing you screenshots, I'm showing you my actual tool as it's running, as it's doing its thing. Okay, so what Cowork is chat is the conversation, Cowork is the working session. So basically, it reaches into your tools to basically access it and does the work with while you steer. Now, the different things that I built with Claude. So I have a Monday Assistant tool here, this one. Okay, let me zoom in. So Monday Assistant was a tool that I built mostly as an experiment for myself. I use it there's a plan my week where it basically will, and so Mara, launch a new product, how many hours do you want to do this week? What does a win look like? First sale. Was one thing, sleep. And then yes, next. You can brain dump your tasks and give it essentially what it is that you're trying to do. I'm just gonna generate a sample task list. Let AI sort this. It is now sorting the different tasks. So I built this all in Claude Code. And then I built it into Lovable. So Lovable is my chosen tool of making my Claude Code dreams come true. It sorts your tasks for what are the things that are high revenue versus what are things that are not. And then it gives you a breakdown of what you should delegate and automate. And then when you click, it looks good. Build the brief. And then this is for our clients inside of 2XU who have never had an executive assistant before. It helps them know what are the things that their executive assistant should be working on, or are things that only they can do. So that's what the Monday Assistant is. If you guys want to play around with it, it's called mondayassistant.com. I've used it to build the command center, as you guys saw earlier. I use it as a social media dashboard. So this is something that my own executive assistant, Honey, who's there, is very supportive, has created. I have not seen yet, but I actually built a legit, actual social media dashboard that grabs live numbers. So I have a total of 59,000 subscribers apparently. It grabs my engagement rate, it grabs how many people reacted to things, and it grabs link clicks. It also has my content calendar. So this is my live actual content calendar in my Notion. It gives me ideas for the day because I'm currently doing 2 mini-series on TikTok. And then it also has a trends. It gives me ideas. Wait, no, it's not okay. It's the artifact itself is not zoomable, I think. Yeah, it's not. It's not zooming in. Okay, that's just it. So that is my social media dashboard. Lead Reviver. Are you guys good? Yes, okay. Lead Reviver is basically, it crawls into my inbox and finds leads that I have not responded to yet. And this is actually a service that I'm currently developing. Liver support. So I have fatty liver. So I will use it to log my meals. I will take a picture of what I just ate, and then I will actually ask it like, hey, here's everything that I ate. You know, I had half a cup of rice. It also helps me filter my food. In fact, today, you can. What I actually legitimately did is I actually had it scan my recent blood work. So I actually uploaded the menu for Urban. And I asked like, what can I eat? And basically, the Urban beef tapa, which is what I ordered today, musunod mo ko. So that is because I have fatty liver and I have sadly high cholesterol. So it gives me like best picks, you know, choose plain rice, egg, ham, cheese, omelette, and then chicken arroz caldo. It knows I have gluten intolerance, so it filters that as well. And then hard skip, all waffles, pancakes, French toast, wheat, sugar, some ice cream, no. Bacon chowder, fat bomb for my gallbladder. And then all Urban bites except maybe tuna melt, and basically just skip the bread. So that's my liver helper, my liver support. And then I've also used it to, of course, build a lot of really cool N8N workflows. So here, I have this whole thing. This is basically for my executive assistant, and it runs basically every 7 a.m. It looks at Gmail, list labels, labels what it is supposed to be, labels, look at unread, writes up drafts if it's applicable to it, tag archive, blah, blah, blah. I did not build one node of this. This was all Claude using N8N connection to build N8N. That's my whole fun thing. And for the book publishing company that I run, I built a book launch calendar creator. Oh no, this is the, wait, which one is this? Oh yeah, formatter. So I need the books to be formatted for Kindle and for paperback. So I have this to do that. And then for this one, this is a launch calendar creator. Do I have a sample? Let's see. This one. So for example, for this author, we did a launch for her book, if it loads. And this was a launch calendar that basically, this is all built with Claude Code. If she clicks this, there's a quick copy post it on Wattpad actually, because all of our authors are from Wattpad. And then that's what she posts into her social media as well. So those are the different things that I have used basically and created with Claude. Now I have my Hogwarts agents. Who here is a Harry Potter fan? Yay! Okay, so you guys will get my references. So I have McGonagall, which is my project manager, oversees everyone and everything. I have Snape, who is my spy master. Every time that I'm about to hop on a call with someone, it researches who that person is. I have Mrs. Norris, you know, the little cat. It's my note taker, because it spies on conversations. So it goes into Zoom, grabs a transcription. I have an Albus. He's my productivity wizard. He makes sure I'm working on what I'm supposed to be working on. And I have Rita Skeeter. So she's my social media manager. She looks at essentially my dashboard, and works with my assistant in a way in making sure that my content is aligned. So that is essentially, if you guys saw on my actual dashboard, those were the names of my in my command center. Where's the demo? There you go. So you guys can see McGonagall tasks, priorities, Mrs. Norris notes from Zoom, Hedwig's letters from Gmail. Oh yeah, I forgot about Hedwig. Hedwig is my Gmail, and then I have basically, oh yeah, I have an ad here for like Scratchpad and other things. So these are my Hogwarts agents. I like naming my agents in a way that I remember, so then when I'm talking to Claude, I can say, hey, refer to McGonagall, refer to Albus, refer to X, Y, and Z, and then it will be able to grab that. So. Okay, so we finally got here. Okay. How to set up Claude correctly. So there's 3 main ways. For people who are on Pro, you guys are already good. I use Max because, again, I use Claude so much. I end up getting frustrated being on the Pro account. So I do have the $100 max, $100 a month max. Turn memory on. So who here has their memory turned on their Claude? Some people, few people. Okay. And make sure to connect it to 3 to 4 tools. So making sure that it's actually even connected to your Gmail, to your Yahoo, wherever you are, and for your calendar as well. And last thing, hi guys, you good? Okay, sorry, because we only have a limited time, and this usually last March, I did a 2-hour workshop in person in Vietnam, and I had to compress a lot of that into this. So that's why I'm like a little bit pressured on time, but I want to make sure that I give you guys what it is that you need. So the last one, which is what we're going to be creating today, is creating your Me.md file. So I have a Leanne.md file. So this is essentially a skill. Basically, then you want to point your global instructions to it. So Claude checks it for context every time. Memory does work for Claude, but it doesn't always get it perfectly. So you want one that works always. So that is the Me.md file. So your personal OS in 5 moves. So this is typically for a whole company. So this is part of a service that we do where we map out someone's business, we add SOPs, we add documentation and assets, and then we build AI on top of it. The process that we follow is B is blueprint, which is basically mapping out their current how they're doing things, organizing their data, systematizing it, automating or delegate, and then I is integrate. So it's making sure that every single time that we run them through this process, that they are able to easily understand what it is that we're actually doing inside of their business. So you'll do each one today. That's why I asked you guys to open your laptop. Open Claude Cowork if you haven't yet, and this is what will follow. So first one is your blueprints. So again, your Me.md is the OS's memory. It's basically a way for it to know your background, your preferences, your voice and writing style, the hard rules that you want it to follow, and then any team and ventures. So you want to give it context. So it knows that Honey is my executive assistant. It knows that Kevin is my video editor. It knows who our social media manager for 2XU is. It knows different people basically inside of my team. So when I'm talking about them, Claude has context on them. So, another example, so for example, this one, it says, I run 2XU, 10 years in remote ops, preferences, proposal first, skip the preamble. So I don't want it to do things. Exactly earlier when I said, like, ask it why it's able to do something. So proposal first, then voice is short, warm, say the thing right away. Hard rules, no M dashes, no client data ever. So I ask it as much as possible to always give me the clean thing. And then team, ventures, 2XU, and Typewriter Pub, which is the publishing company, and then my EA is Honey. So it actually says that right there. So if you guys go into the artifact that I gave you guys access to. Okay, so in the Hackbook I gave you guys, so it does have the OS, it has the prompt method here. If you guys go to this section, build your Me.md. So this is your OS memory, 1 to 2 lines per section. So it'll ask for your background. So what you do, how many years, what's your expertise, your preferences. Do you like short answers? I like bullet points, so I would put always answer in bullet points, so it's easy for me to read. What is the voice and writing style that you like? So do you want it to sound like Tony Robbins? Do you want it to sound like Alex Hormozy? Do you want to sound like I don't know, whoever it is in your head who you want it to sound like. Hard rules that you want it to follow. So, example for me, I said no client data ever. Team and ventures who are important to you. And then I had it immediately put here, what is AI slop. So you guys don't have to do that. So as we're waiting for this, if you guys already have Claude open on your laptop, you guys can use this into Claude Chat for now if you don't have Claude Cowork. But you can create your Me.md file. And again, what it does is basically, so for example for me, where's my Leanne.md file? Here. So my Leanne.md file, who she is, has my active ventures. So all of the other things that I'm doing. It has my core frameworks and IP, so it knows my WOAH, it knows my Scale U formula. It has like what a remote executive assistant is, what a WOAH score is. It basically has a different team, so it has Honey, it has Ferdy on there, has my voice and writing style, so on and so forth. So this is what we're trying to build, is just a little bit of a mini version of this. And again, if I go to my settings, if I go to instructions for Claude, this is exactly what you guys will need. So you want to change your instructions for Claude to read the Leanne.md file to know my preferences and background. So anytime that it does a task, it would look at your MD file to be able to build it. So you drop me, same shape, same shape as your Leanne.md, but different person. Got it, check for M- is clean. 2 interferences I made from the skeleton, so it's at impact.com. Thirsty affiliates, there you go. And then this is now Cherie's Me.md file. So after you guys create this, then you essentially have that. And you can use your Me.md file for any AI. You can use it for, you can copy this and put it into ChatGPT. You can copy it into Gemini or Perplexity or literally any AI. You have your Me.md file, so you don't have to keep reintroducing yourself to the AI every single time. You have a way that you can cleanly, quote unquote, introduce yourself into the AI. How are you guys doing? Because that's a bigger thing to build. So if you guys don't know what to put in each one, your background is who you are, what you do, who is important to you, your preferences, your voice, your hard rules, the team adventures, and then the anti-slop, what should never sound like. So, are you guys building it so far? Are you guys able to use the tool, the artifact? So since you guys have the artifact, you can do this as well later if you don't want to build this right now. But that is essentially building up your Me.md file. So next is how you want to talk to your OS is you use what I've been calling the WOAH method. So this is for every single workshop that I've done, for every single talk that I've done, for all of our clients, I teach them this. So when you're talking to the AI, you want to give it the who you are, what you do, who you work with, the outcome that you need. You want to make sure that A is asked questions. You want AI to ask you questions. So anything that's not clear, it asks that question, and then how it should be done. So if you want, again, bullet points, if you want references, if you want it to double check on its own work, this is the part of the prompt that you would give it. So inside of the artifact that I gave you guys, it has examples of the WOAH method in there as well. And then this essentially brings us to O on the WOAH. So B was blueprint, which is walking you through what your current processes are. If you don't know what your current processes are, you don't know what you're adding AI into. O is organize, so grabbing your daily tools. So your email, your calendar, your docs, your drive, your chat. If you guys don't know how to do that, you guys go to customize, connectors. You can add your tools here. So you guys can see I already have Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive, N8N, Notion, and Zapier, and Zoom for Claude already on here. So, and Canva as well. So who here has connected their tools already on Claude? Perfect. Okay, this makes it a little bit easier for you guys. So again, a connector is, it just hooks up into your tools. You can add a new connector through here. The only sucky thing, honestly, that's why I still use N8N, is you can only connect one account at a time. So for example, if you are a social media manager and you have like 5 different clients, you will have to create a new Claude account for the other client, because then it can't connect to more than one account. Basically, if your client is using different Canva accounts, you have to manually kind of create another one.
So N8N solves that?
Hmm? Yeah, kaya I can use like multiple different connectors basically into it. Yeah. So that's the only thing that I'm like, but I don't think any other AI can do other multiple connections basically to do that. So that's why it does that. So almost any tool that you guys, I say almost because it doesn't yet connect to social media accounts, you can probably find in the connectors inside of Claude. So that's the mini to do for you guys, is to organize and put out all of the tools that you will be using and creating your personal dashboard with. So do you guys have a clear list of your tools? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay, some people say yes. Okay. Next is systematize. Did you guys know you can create a Claude skill using an SOP? Some people do, some people know. Who here knows what an SOP is, by the way? Okay, so few people. So an SOP is a standard operating, what's a P? Procedure. Thank you. Okay, so for example, baro po ha? Okay, so Urban Cafe and Resto Bar, all of these are technically an SOP. There's an SOP how to create an espresso. There's an SOP how to create a macho affogato. That sounds so good. I might get that later. Oh no, my liver, I will say no to it. Okay, never mind. So that's what an SOP is you think of it as like a menu, not a menu, recipe book of every single thing that you're currently doing, and then a step-by-step process on how to do it and how to create it. So a SOP I want you guys to build to make this super simple and easy is basically, how do you currently manage your inbox? So you want to make sure that you tell Claude how you currently run your inbox. Claude writes it up as an SOP, and you want to turn that SOP into a skill. So I literally just gave it, I want to create an SOP for my friend's inbox with labels. So the labels are, if it's a task that Cherie is doing, she changes it to Cherie to do. If it's urgent, the tag is high priority. And if it's later, she stars it in the inbox. And honestly, ideally what I like doing is I do like using voice when it comes to walking AI through a task that I wanted to automate, mostly because I can just talk freely. I also use, from time to time, Whisper, if you guys have heard of Whisper. Although I find it like more extra steps and also more internet bandwidth needing. So it's when I'm just focused work. So on it, let me check. Oh, okay. It's checking. I have an inbox SOP inside of my own Claude, so it's checking that first, so then there's no duplication. So it's already like seeing like, oh, okay, you already have this file existing. Leanne triage system with clarifying questions. So you can see how all of the skills that I have installed is working on its own, because it's checking every single thing that I've already built. So that is your guys' to do, by the way. In connection with this is right now, go to Claude, tell it how you're currently running and managing your inbox. Claude writes it up as an SOP, and then we're gonna turn that SOP into a skill. So what is a skill? So a skill is basically a physical tool that you're building inside of Claude. So for example, you guys saw that I turned my Me.md file into a skill. So every single time it's about to do a task, it looks at its toolbox and looks at the tools. So for example, it has the Leanne writer file. It looks at it every single time I ask it to write a post, so on and so forth. It has a project manager skill. I have so many skills inside of Claude just because I do teach this for a lot of people. So you want to make sure that you build your own. Who here has seen download my 500 skills from Claude? Who has seen those ads? None? Oh, okay. You guys aren't targeted by AI. Okay, some people. I always don't recommend that you just download a skill, because it actually can harm your computer because you don't know the prompt. Unless you're willing to read the long paragraph of prompt that it gives it, it can actually be a danger to your computer. So that's just always something I give a heads up. That's why I teach people how to build and create a skill, because then you can do it yourself. You don't have to download someone else's skill. Alright, so it's building it. So what is a Claude skill? So right now, again, it can be that short of what I just showed you guys, of like Cherie's process. By the way, Cherie, this is the SOP it built. Yeah. Alright, so now it built it, and you want to go ahead and save skill. I'm not going to save skill because then it'll have a lot of these inbox skills on my computer. but you can go ahead and save skill, and then it will automatically update into your Claude. So now every time that you use Claude Chat, Claude Cowork, Claude Code, it will always look at your skills files, your tools that you built it, so that it always builds it the right way. So that is essentially how you can build and create your own skill. Okay, so basically this part, we have 5 more minutes, so I'm not gonna take this long for here. The goal is, and this is inside of your handout, is to build your own dashboard. So a dashboard that will have an inbox reader, a calendar reader, and a scratchpad area. For myself, I do like having a scratchpad area because sometimes I have 5 different ideas in my head and I'm like, what did I say again? So here I have the today, but I have an ad. So there's a scratchpad here that if I add, yeah, it's can't zoom sadly. If I add a task, it'll add it here, and then there's a button I can click that I want to import this into my Notion account, or if it's a task that I just want to add very quickly or a resource, it can then do that as well. So are you guys ready to build a very quick live artifact on Claude Cowork? Alright, who has Claude Cowork open already? Okay. So Claude Cowork can only be on the desktop app. It does not yet exist on Claude as a browser. So if you guys go into your Claude Cowork, you can click live artifacts, but you can honestly just click new task, and then you can input the prompt here. So basically, you want to make sure that you connected your email and your calendar. So for those who already have that, no need. Open a new thread in Cowork, paste the prompt. It's in your prompt pack in the artifact, and then watch it build and accept changes. So inside here, okay, it has the SOPs also in here. Build your AI OS. You want to copy that? You want to paste that whole thing into Claude Cowork. So I want you to build a simple dashboard as a live artifact, and then basically the outcome that you need it, and then literally just hit enter. Again, I made this super easy and simple for you guys to follow and do. So as you're seeing here, it's building, it says context, skills, the Lian file. So it's looking at that because I said like, hey, you have my Me.md. Look at that. So it's checking it. And it's slowly going to build out more context files that it is currently looking at. It will take a while. That's the thing, is it can take a while for it to build it. But for those who have the prompt, did you guys already paste it? Who pasted it already?
Ask me questions.
Good. It's supposed to ask you questions when it doesn't know, yeah. Because part of the prompt, remember, is A is ask questions. Before you build anything, oh, there you go. In the inbox card, what should cause unread and important? Unread only, I guess. And then junk folder, show it in the card. Scratchpad list, plain lists. Okay. So it said in the A, before you build anything, ask me clarifying questions. That's why I asked you questions, Dave. Because it's supposed to. So as it's building, I'll wrap this up a little bit. I will be here for the whole session, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to approach me. That's essentially your personal operating system, version 1. It grows as you add more skills into Claude and also other connectors. So that's just the inbox, calendar, scratchpad. If you want to connect it to your Notion, your Trello, your Asana, your ClickUp, you can, and then it can do, instead of me opening my inbox, my calendar, my Notion, 5 different social media accounts, I can just look at all of it inside of a Claude dashboard. So integrate is basically run it once, notice that it's usually clumsy, and then give it feedback basically on what it did wrong. Then again, test it, and of course, frame your feedback with the WOAH framework. So then on maintaining your AIOS, review your Me.md file, update it as best as you can. I review it monthly because I could change my career tomorrow if I was crazy enough, and I want to make sure that my Me.md file is up to date. And tune in your skills as best as you can. So your guys' next steps, build your Me.md this week and then build one skill. If you guys want someone to do this for your business or if you build your business's OS file, I'm your girl for that. Let's see, it's still building. It's still doing its thing. I think the first time it built something, it took a while also. Okay. But that is basically it. I wanted to be on time. I ended a little bit a minute, a minute more. But that is essentially how to build your own OS.